Thanks for inviting me. I think I was asked to talk a lot about the relationship of Oedipus and how it's got existence in this city. Well, today you're gonna see a lot of material that's actually new for our website. Will be launched end of this week. So also premiere. I have to do something here.
Yeah, don't click.
Oh. This is the opening of the website. It's just some colors. Who of you know Oedipus Brewing? Oh, Jesus. This is really new to me. Also that people know it, and it's still funny to walk in a bar and see people ordering our beer. I was also asked to talk a bit about how we started, and it started with 4 friends. And that's Alex, Paul, Sander, and that's me. We started brewing because we all worked in a place called the Beer Temple here in Amsterdam, and we were real beer geeks, as it's called, really looking for new beers. And this place was specialized in beer. Oh, it's moving by itself. Oh shit. It's a place that's focused on beer from the States and other new kind of beer countries like Denmark, Italy, even these places that people don't know that's a beer place. We were also surprised that there's a lot of good beer coming from these kind of countries. And the thing was they tasted different, they were new styles, but they also really looked different. They had different kind of bottles, whole different kind of naming and a different way of expressing themselves than like traditional Dutch brands, the big brands, or the artisanal brands. And that really inspired us. We wanted also to kind of get other people involved, because the beer geek scene is it's a bit a hobby thing. It's a lot of old guys. It's very dusty actually, and I don't know, I like also music. I like to go out, like to dance, so why wouldn't you go out to a party and have a crappy beer and have a good beer then? So one event was really important of kind of getting the idea of how our brewery should be, how our brand should be, was we went to Copenhagen. It's already 5 years ago. To a beer event where we saw a lot of young people, boys and girls, busy with beer, all kind of packs at this festival, and they were like sharing beer and talking about flavor, and this was something completely different. We've never seen such a thing in the Netherlands. Again, the beer festivals were very kind of geeky and dull. So that was for us kind of the idea we wanted to. And how we do that? Well, let's first see if we can brew. And this is how it started. In a small pan, 25 liters, we kind of fixed the cool box into a brewing equipment. We're here in Sander's apartment. We started 24th of August 2011. We made the first beer. It didn't go super well. It took 14 hours to make a beer. Normally it takes like 7 hours. But it was great to make that beer. And we started immediately kind of with ambition. None of us had any experience in business or economics or not even marketing. You have very different backgrounds. Alex is an anthropologist. Paul did psychology and worked. The only guy who had a proper job and worked as here at a factory. Maybe some people know it. And Sander did hydrology. It's kind of a master in earth science. I did art academy. So we just did everything very intuitive and just kind of getting the beer at places where we would go ourselves, because again, we like to go to festivals too. So very important, and I think it's thanks to Amsterdam, a very good thing how our brand kind of slowly grew was at festivals. We organized festivals ourselves, but we also joined other festivals. This is at Shoeless. You can see a lot of people without shoes. Actually, Sander is wearing shoes. Shit. And this was again a very a push forward for us, because we saw there that at a dance festival, it's actually kind of like a techno festival. People really enjoyed having kind of a craft beer bar, a bar where you could get something else, something different, and we had some guests coming back the whole weekend. So that was for us like, see, it works. Also, these people want beer, yeah, because why not actually? We organize our own festivals, not super clear photo, but this is at Kimsey Festival this year in Keuvel. It was a huge success. We didn't expect it to be that big, but this festival started already like 4 years ago. And again, Amsterdam is a city, I think it's great for the music scene, festivals also, but there wasn't really a combination of both things, like You had beer festivals, you had music, of course, dance festivals, and festivals started just to happen 4 years ago, but you didn't have everything together. So you don't see, but here's actually a DJ behind this black fence. There was also a party, a lot of good beer, and also a lot of actually from other brewers too, because we want to share, and we're not the only one doing this. In the city of Amsterdam, we have a lot of new upcoming breweries too. Of course, you have some older big guys like Het Ei and the Prowl. They have meant a lot to the Amsterdam beer scene, but I think there's a whole new wave of young brewers that do stuff. And for us, one beer that kind of really started it all off was Mannenliefde. This is Mannenliefde. This is for the new website too. This will be animated. Yeah, you want to know how? Eh? Check the website end of this weekend. So already as a home brewer, as homebrewers, we wanted to make every week a different beer because we wanted to find out what it is about flavor, about recipes making. We didn't want to have one kind of flagship beer or one success beer. We want to have a lot of diversity, and that's what I like from your story. Celebrate diversity. That's something that we also really put energy in because we believe there's not one beer for the masses, for the crowd, but there's a lot of different beers for a lot of different characters or maybe even different moments. I don't believe in seasonal beers in the sense like, oh, it's herfst, it's fall, so you need a bock beer. You sit next to a kind of a fireplace and enjoy this very heavy beer. That's kind of very dull. I want to have a fresh beer in the winter too, and I like heavy beer in the summer too. Well, this is kind of where after the festivals our beer kind of got to know, and it spread over Amsterdam. And nowadays we're a lot also outside of Amsterdam and in, I think, the Randstad. Is there a word for it in English? Randstad. Kind of all the bigger cities. Yeah, on the coastline. And one thing that is very important, I think, is how we started. The brewing was just always us at festivals and telling the story of beer and letting people taste. Very important that kind of people find their own flavor. This is our stout. It's a dark beer. Called Penty. Well, you're gonna read the story why this is looking like this on the website. But we find now we are in kind of a difficult moment in time because it's growing very fast in a good way, I guess. But we not can always be there ourselves anymore at events, especially it's all over the country at the same time. So we are the big challenge to tell still the same stories and get people kind of still enthusiastic about these beers. And I think a lot is the artwork. I think we work a lot with different artists. Well, Mama is a different artist than Penty, and that's what we want to do, but there's also a story behind most beers. It's Tai Tai, you might know it. This one is nice, I like this, slow-mo. This is actually how we work. And oh yeah, here this is an animation of how, like, actually all the photos you saw will be animated. This is Gaia. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll take a water in the meantime. So this will be kind of headers on the website. Well, art has always been very important to us because we believe like it's never only about the beer. It's kind of weird. This guy is really weird, this artist. He also designed our logo, but he just comes up with the most crazy stuff. I really love it. We believe that it's not only about the beer, because if we were really only about the beer, like some good craft brewers in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, they make awesome beer. But then it would be only for the geeks or for people with a lot of money because it's more expensive. But we want to get beer for everyone, approachable, understandable, and I think art and music is a great way of getting it into people's hands and eventually also in their mouth and bellies. And that's why we now have our own brewery in Amsterdam North with a bar. We also are open from Friday till Sunday, and I think we were looking for that already since 2013. We were situated in a place at Westerdock first for 1.5 years, but it didn't work out. You know, Amsterdam, kind of difficult neighbors and this kind of stuff. So we had to move out, but we are now very happy in Amsterdam North where we have a lot of space to brew and to experiment and to actually expand. Oh, we have a bar, and again here, very nice tap handles. And the fun thing, also if you look at the toilets, we ask other artists to kind of remix earlier works from other artists. So it kind of becomes a continuous work and not only from one person anymore, but it's become shared. So this is made by Hans Klok, the Taken Mogol. I think, not sure if you know him. His name is now Hans Klok. I understand why. But he used Victor's labeling, the original Mama and Monolith, to make toilets. Well, this is the brewery at an event, and in the back you see actually the brewery, and it looks very romantic now, but actually it's kind of just stacks of beer and boxes. Well, I think Amsterdam has been very the best place to drink beer and to experiment with art and music and events in the Netherlands. But we also very much look at other cities not so much in the Netherlands, but more abroad. Look at Copenhagen. London has a great beer scene. Milan is upcoming, but also going to the States, to Portland and in Oregon, Austin and Texas. These are places where there's a lot happening with food, also with cross contamination in a good way. And actually I think it's very much more about cities than about countries in general, where we find inspiration, we also find connection. Well, we're expanding again. We just broke down the wall and we have about a new brewery. That's 25 hectoliter. It looks not very hygienic or clean, but it's very dusty. And we're also asked to talk about where we want to go. Well, using this, making even more great beer, making more diversity, and also make it possible to reach out to more people. We don't want to be a huge brand, but at the same time we never wanted to be a very small artisanal brewery, kind of like the romantic idea. We want to be kind of have a certain size to reach out to a lot of people. And some people kind of have difficulty with that because they think like, you should be small to be artisanal or to be craft. And I think, especially if you look like the States, there are some really good breweries that make great beer still and have a huge community in their regional, even national community, but they are really big also, and I think that's a great thing because they do also art, they sponsor sports and all this kind of stuff, I think in a more creative and fun and collaborative way than like the super big brands like Heineken or Amstel. They ask James Bond to pay a couple million. So where we want to go is, this is at the beer festival, this is a geek festival, then we come up with a very lo-fi, houtje touwtje, you would say in Dutch, stand. That's always what we do. We don't never put too much, although we like art, we never put too much money or time in super slick presentation at festivals. And as you can see the barrels, this is at the other festival from the French brewer, the Molen. But barrels is where we want to go. This is from our friends in Cascade in Portland. This is kind of our dream. We're asked to talk about our dream. Not to only make beer in this, but this is beer. This is all old wine barrels, some cognac. And this brewery makes only sour beer and barrel ages on this for years to make a very complex and layered flavor. They only do that, but we want to make this as a kind of a special side series because it's again a new flavor to beer. For a lot of people, they don't understand that beer can also be sour, maybe even salty or savory. But in this way, you can introduce completely new flavors: bourbon, wine, cognac. It's endless. Tequila is also possible. So yeah, it's a long way. In 5-10 years, maybe we have that running. But for now, we are every Friday, Saturday, and also on Sunday at open in Noord. It looks like this, very easy. And I think what the good thing is about Amsterdam Noord is it attracts a lot of different people. Actually, you have the locals that are kind of surprised that we're there, but they really like it. We have the beer geeks coming out from all over the country and even abroad, but also people from the city that maybe drink our beer in other bars and want to taste the complete selection of spectrum of our flavors. So come by. There we are again. Thank you.